Guys. Good evening, everyone. This is the Sit the Menu podcast. I am Dr. Dana Martin. With me tonight, Cam, who was here last week after a long drought. Welcome back, Cam.
Yes, sir.
Debbie, who I didn't even think was on our show anymore. Welcome back, Debbie, after a month of Andor. And Andrew, the eternal sub. Always the bridesmaid, never a bride, Andrew. Except for today, Andrew. Today we celebrate you, my friend. Happiest birthdays to you ever.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I'll join the dark side. You never know.
What do you mean? Maybe you'll join? You're not already on the dark side?
I mean,
I feel like Dana's reading off a script, dude.
Sorry, happy birthday. Suck it. Just kidding. Here he is.
Dana's reading off a script for sure, bro. Share the screen. There's no way you just came up with that on the fly.
well,
No
thank you. I
way.
appreciate it.
I'm
Debbie and Cam
riffing.
should be jealous
The
of all the
Dark
kind
Jedi.
things Dana said to
Hello.
me.
How
Dude, the
are you?
stuff Dana was
Sorry.
saying to me earlier in my video.
I was saying
be
some
jealous.
wonderful things.
You should be jealous.
I do appreciate you.
I didn't get that on my birthday. What the hell?
When was your birthday?
In December, fool.
But we didn't have a show on your birthday.
There you go.
I don't care. You could still make a video.
I didn't say happy birthday in a video.
No.
I'm finding that hard to believe. You seem a bit salty, and I'm feeling very bad right now.
What have I
Are you
done?
for real? Did we not celebrate you on our show at all? Like happy birthday, like nothing?
We got to go back to all the December shows. And watch
I
them.
don't
They're
know.
fun.
Where's our associate
I'm
producer?
old.
Run
I
it
forget. I don't even know what I did yesterday, let alone back in December. So
Do we even have an associate producer?
He's just not here today.
Are
No,
they
I'm
getting
waiting.
paid?
I was gonna try to get an intern from Aggieland, and that wasn't working. I was gonna have to like pay them. I guess you don't just get free labor
why
anymore.
not? I did an internship and it was not paid.
You got credit, right? Like,
Well, yeah, but you can't find somebody who's in filmmaking or something like that would do an internship and get credit for it.
I'm trying. I can't pay them anything. That's the problem. And
I
everybody
didn't get paid.
What I know, but when was that? I'm not. Shit. I didn't like I always thought that it was like you get school credit, like that's what internship was. But
Yeah, you
apparently
get school credit, but you don't get paid for it.
that's I
I didn't get paycheck.
our local university. Like I have to pay them the students for their work, and they get school credit.
Must be different in Texas then,
Yeah.
or
I
wherever
didn't-
you're at.
You have to do an internship there, Cam.
Hmm?
Did you have to do any sort of internship or anything there?
Mm-mm. No, I work full time pretty much, so internship was not required.
He has to restart his laptop. He just texted me. He must still be having. He's gonna restart and then he'll come back.
No worries. Yeah, no, Debbie, I'm with you. Like when I started looking into it, I was like, this is great. I'll just register my business. And then it's like, what's your budget for this? And this is the expectation. I'm like, whoa, time out. But then it's like, am I that cheap? No, I just can't afford. If I could afford it, yeah, I'd pay an intern and help them out and help me out, you know?
What's the minimum in Texas?
That is a question I cannot answer because I do not have that information. Not in front of me. You see that back there? That's the bane of my existence right there. That is
Your monitor?
that is the workspace. This is the fun space. That's the workspace.
Should give us a house tour. It's a real nice house, especially the backyard with the grill and the pool, you know. That he doesn't invite anybody to Make him a
I'm not
nice
going to
Oh,
tell you.
really?
I made ribs yesterday because I worked from home. At 4 o'clock, I put them on low and slow. Took them off about 5:30. Threw them into the oven on 225 for another hour, wrapped tightly in foil. Turned it off, let them rest for another 15 minutes, and it fell off the bone. Very good. I would have invited you, but there's no more ribs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he would have invited me.
What I miss on this?
Minimum wage.
Minimum wage. Yes. I thought you were saying what was minimum for the internship. Like what were they saying was the minimum? My bad.
Oh,
So yeah. No, you're 100%. 7 and a quarter. Anyway, we're here to talk about Rogue One tonight. No, we're not. We're here to talk
Oh.
about Andor. See, wrong show.
good
Man,
thing
you
I
haven't been
watched
on
it
in
this
so long.
weekend.
You did?
Yes,
You
I
watched it
did.
again?
Mhm.
Man, is it different now? Watch after season 2 of Andor.
Yeah, it hits differently. Certain scenes, and you're just like,
Cam, did you
the
rewatch Rogue One
tears
yet?
start coming.
No, I haven't. I watched it actually like about a month ago, 2 months ago, before season 2 came out, but I haven't watched it since finishing season 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I watched it before Andor, like to prep, and then I haven't watched it since. But other things are taking up my watch time, like Tales from the Underworld. I just finished that tonight. We'll talk about that next week. But have y'all seen that yet?
No, I hadn't watched it yet.
Yeah, we're talking about it Thursday. I think about what day it was. Over on Cantina, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, the Cad Bane piece wasn't as good to me as it was good. It just wasn't. It was okay, cool. So you got a little history on Cad Bane, but Ventress, I felt as much as I liked it, I felt like they were just trying to fan serve. I don't know, kind of a little fan service in it. We'll talk about it next week. But I loved it though. That was my favorite between the two was the Ventress piece. Hello, Andrew.
It's fixed. All right. I had to restart my laptop. Fed's got a hold of it. Weird stuff.
Oh, watch out for the Fed, man.
Yeah. Gee
telling
whiz.
you.
I was like, what the heck?
Dude, Cam,
know.
he hadn't even had to say it yet. So
In the Fed, bro. In the
There
Fed,
it is.
please.
Yeah.
There it is.
Dude, it has never done what it did before. I was like, what the heck is going on? So,
And on your
Taxation.
birthday, no less.
I
Taxation
know.
is theft. The government
Sheesh.
hates us all.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Okay, Andrew, this is for you.
Bro's really going all out for Andrew's birthday.
Should I be worried?
He won't even invite me over to his house, bro.
Hold on, I'm not even sharing the stupid video. What a
Yes, this
dork.
is pretty cool.
Hey, everybody, it's your host of the Sit Dominion podcast, Dr. Dana Martin. I need to take 2 seconds to wish a very special birthday boy a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Andrew. Andrew, how old are you, Andrew? Are
20.
you old enough to buy a pack of cigarettes? Are you old enough for that?
Probably.
Or can you purchase an adult beverage? Are you able to
Almost.
watch Revenge of the Sith alone
No.
without a parent?
Can't.
Happy birthday, brother. Nothing but the best for the next year for you. Appreciate everything you bring to the table on our show. You're awesome. Have a great day. Happy birthday, Andrew. Remember, kids, peace is alive. Yeah, whatever.
Ah.
Yay.
Hey,
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
F that.
Ah.
Get back in your place. Here we go.
The day's over.
Rogue, not Rogue. Damn it. Andor season 2. All right. Let's just talk.
I actually
first.
heard that that season 2, episode 13 is supposed to be like a feature-length movie. My
Okay,
mistake.
your
There was a bit of a
birthday's over.
delay.
Your birthday's over. Okay.
That's right. My mistake.
The way they ran that. 3 episodes, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. What are your thoughts on the series being done like that before we get into the meat? Like, how did you feel about that?
Feel about what?
Holy shit.
how the
The
series
fact that
ended.
it was no, you had 3. Is my mic on? Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Well, you were on my end. You were lagging really bad, and all I was getting was.
Oh, okay, got you. Here we go. The way that they release these 3 episodes, 1 year passes. 3 episodes, 1 year passes. That format with the time and all this. This is the first time I've seen a show like that. How did you feel about it? Did you like it, dislike it? Did it work, not work? That's what we're asking.
I hated it.
Oh,
Now, if it would have aired like on a Friday night or a Saturday where I didn't care if I was up past midnight, it wouldn't have been bad. But it was on a Tuesday, and so I'm up past midnight watching it, and then of course I have to have my cookies and milk, and have a couple of cigarettes before I go to bed, and so it's like 1:00 before I get to bed, and I'm just like, oh my God.
where did they for your subscription for Disney Plus? Is it you had to watch them all in a row that night, or is that your personal?
No, but in order to not be spoiled on the internet, because people can't help themselves,
True.
Mhm.
I got
you try to scroll by real fast, but sometimes you hear shit, and it's just like, son of a.
I got you.
Mhm.
Sam, did you like that format?
Yeah, I personally, I loved it. I love as the night proceeds, I loved every single aspect of the show.
What about you, Andrew? The format, how'd you feel about it?
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, no.
I for the story that they were telling, I liked it because, yeah, I mean, yeah, was it fun being up till 11 watching the show? No, because I'd have to go back and rewatch the 3rd episode of each arc because I was zoned out for half of it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for the East Coast, I think they should have released it at least an hour earlier for the East Coast.
Yeah.
Because for us it didn't come on until 9:00.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been nice if they could have released at least the East Coast at 8, and then it wouldn't have been so bad. Because there were some nights where I had a really long, frustrating day at work, and I'm already pooped, and then I'm trying to sit there, pay attention to what's going on without nodding off. So I liked that every episode was an arc. I did like that. I just didn't like it dropping. It was just frustrating for me as an old
Hopefully
fart.
that has become a trend for future Star Wars shows, because it can't work for any show. I think it worked specifically for Andor because it was arcs.
Yeah. It worked specifically. You had a lot of time to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucked for podcasters because we're basically, covering a movie every week.
And having to watch. Yeah. And you're having to watch it. And again, they don't ask us Tuesday shows before they say that's the release date. So we're screwed.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, I mean, you if you have a Wednesday, you're right. Any of these fan sites for podcasting, writing, whatever, Wednesday, you're hammered. That's everything, and you can't get online without seeing everything. If it's one episode, okay, great. All right, well, I saw a spoiler. Next week, I won't. No, that's not the case. You're exactly right. I thought it was interesting. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, for me, of course, we air on Thursday nights over on Cantina. And so it's like, well, I could take notes while I'm watching it the first time, but I hate doing that. I just want to sit there and enjoy it, without having to pause it and, write my stupid note or whatever.
Have you have you rewatched it already?
No, not yet.
Has anyone?
I've all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I've rewatched some episodes, but I haven't had the time to go back.
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a unique way to cover a good chunk of time. a good chunk. We're talking what? I don't even know. How many? 3 years? 1, 2, yeah, 3 years. They covered 3 years in that span. And I don't know. Do you think they could have gone a whole nother season and made it, or do you like how they just were done?
Well, we were supposed to get 5,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm
I
kind
think
of disappointed in that. But
it kept the
maybe-
quality there though, because
Mm-hmm.
imagine 5 seasons, it could get to the because there's no filler.
There
in
could
the
be
show.
filler. Yeah, you're
So
exactly right.
that would be my only concern. Not that I don't think
But
Tony would, but
season 1, there wasn't any fillers. I don't think.
No.
no, there
I
wasn't.
mean, it was
no.
setting up characters and world building
Yeah, that's true.
leading up to season 2. But I really don't think there was. what
They
you
would have
call
spent like
typical
$1 billion
filler.
on the show after 5 seasons.
Yeah.
But who knows?
All right. First chunk of time. What was, in your opinion, that first 3 episodes? Was there anything that super stood out to you as, oh my god, that was something? And we can revisit the arc and refresh if we need to. But we have the Cyril and Dedra relationship. We
That
have,
came out of nowhere.
oh my god, we had Diaper Dan, the old man, and his, running shit in his white suit. Why he would wear white knowing he had Depends under there, I don't know. You had Gorman, massacre. Like, there was so much packed into those 3 episodes. What was it that maybe you were like, yeah, that was good?
I mean, the stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
just keep going, Dana. Just list it.
Yeah.
There
I mean, the
was
stuff with Luthen
nothing
was.
bad.
Oh yeah, no, nothing bad. Yeah,
Luthen.
except Diaper Dan's pants.
Yeah,
those went bad, but that was about it.
How did you feel they developed Luthen here and gave us more? Did you like that? Did you like what they did with him?
Yeah,
I was like, hit the button, the easy button that says, "Yep, I like it."
Well, I love that we kind of sort of got a backstory on him. I mean, it wasn't, they didn't go too in depth, just enough to give us why he was doing what he was doing. I mean, we didn't need the whole full story, like, oh, he was born on Tatooine or
at least
whatever.
it wasn't a whole episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was done really well because it explained why he was doing what he was doing in his relationship with Clea.
And she got to see the sunrise at the end that he never got to see.
Yeah.
From the speech back in episode 1
Mhm.
or season 1.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that last scene for a minute. At the end here. Yeah, I thought the Cyril and Dedra, that thing came out of nowhere. Like, I mean, there was some tension, you thought, maybe in the first season.
He was stalking her. What a freak.
I just wanting to know who she was. And
There
took
was
an interest.
a leak of the first draft of the Turn Off the Lights episode.
Oh my
and
god.
it was him. Cyril says, "I'm sorry," and Dedra says, "It's okay. I'm sure it happens to lots of guys." Yeah.
What?
You don't get it?
No, I don't get it.
Could get it up.
No, I get that, but I'm sure it happens to lots of guys. Oh, I'm reading way too into it. I thought it was like some commentary on Dedra's body count or something. No.
Oh man, well.
Yeah, that flew over my head.
That's the last joke for the night.
That's okay. Happy birthday, Andrew. Good night. No.
Right.
No, I thought that the relationship played out interestingly. We see how she was using him, but I don't know. Did she really care about Cyril? Did she love Cyril?
I think there was something there.
Wasn't it you, Cam, that was like, I need a mom, or I need a woman to talk to my mom like that? Someone said that. Was that you, Cam? Yeah. What was that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was funny. Like, that's what makes me kind of feel like I mean, obviously there was more of a motive to get him less, I guess, attached to his mom and like her calling him all the time and all that, so he could go to Gorman and all of that. So I guess there was more of a ulterior motive to that. But I thought that was very funny, just from a relationship dynamic. First time meeting your, I don't know, spouse or partner's like parents or parent, and given the relationship between Cyril and his mom, I got a good chuckle out of it.
I'm just glad we don't have to hear Cyril again.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I was glad they brought her back on. And the way that she got put in her place was just chef's kiss, man.
It was pretty good.
Ever since Cyril quit eating cereal for breakfast, he started standing up to his mom and choking people. He needs to get back to eating cereal.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what about when he is that in the second piece or is it in the first piece? I think it's in the second. But when he and Andor come face to face.
That was episode 8.
That scene. Yeah, episode 8. So it was in that second arc, the third arc, whatever. But I thought that was a really telling, and Cyril's reaction there of like, you don't know who I am? Like, no, I got no idea. I thought that was pretty well done. Not just the actors, but it was written well. It's something I never considered when you're on the run, right? Like you're being hunted by this person. They know everything about you, but who are you? I don't know. Do you feel like Cyril's mission or his destiny was fulfilled, his purpose in the show? Like he had a purpose.
Well, he realizes that purpose was all, it was just fake. Like he was just, lies. He was a pawn. And so, tough way to go.
So that Andor piece was like icing on the cake, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could see the deflation in his face when, he thinks, I've caught my white whale, my Moby Dick. And Cassian saying, who are you? And it's just like, he just realizes this was all for nothing. The Empire lied to me. My girlfriend lied to me. And this guy doesn't even know who the hell I am. And yet I've been chasing him for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And then he gets shot in the head, which was awesome.
Did you find yourself becoming more like endearing to Cyril, or still kind of neutral? You kind of feel one way about him.
I started to like him more because you really got to feel for him. I feel like, I don't know, still weird, but
I mean, Debbie, I felt sorry for him.
You were like,
well, I felt sorry for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
He was
he was one of those characters that you love to hate.
Yeah.
I can't say I really hated him. I can't say I hated him. I just disliked him a lot because he was an asshole. He was an asshole, but yet he was a pussy when it came to his mother.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, pick a lane, dude. Pick a lane.
Who's a lane? Oh, I cracked myself up.
So to wrap up kind of their story, she finds out he's dead, goes into the room, and what we all were hoping for was some little something of Vader, was her choking herself. Now, can we
She wasn't choking herself. She was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Panic attack.
Panic attack.
That's what that was.
I definitely a panic attack.
Herself.
Dana's like, I've never panicked in my life.
I think she was choking herself because she missed Cyril.
Nah.
No, I said that during the show.
Definitely having a panic attack, brother.
No.
Were we watching the same show, Dana?
She's pulling at her collar like, "Oh my God, get me out of this! I'm suffocating."
Have you ever had a panic attack, Dana?
I've had panic attacks. That was
I don't know. So if I say
Yeah.
I don't know, probably not.
Yeah, no, she was definitely having panic attack mode for sure.
And here I thought she really had some deep love and connection in some weird sadistic way to Cyril.
Well,
I mean,
and
she
she
definitely
even
probably
finds
loved
out.
him.
I mean, she finds out later in the show that she's a pawn. She's expendable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, unless you're actually Vader himself, you're expendable. Even
Oh.
Palpatine gets thrown down the elevator shaft.
Even
He still
Diaper
lives,
Dan.
allegedly.
How'd
He
you
still
feel
does,
about
yeah.
that scene, Diaper Dan?
It was crazy.
Oh man.
I mean, the fact that the guy just went.
Was that unexpected? It was unexpected for me. Was that unexpected for you guys?
Well, he was gonna go sometime. I mean, he just, you know.
I think
so-
she figured that, you know, either one, he was going to end up in prison, or he was going to have that headphones put on and listening to screaming aliens or whatever.
Mhm.
So go ahead.
Is it? I was thinking about this. So, is Dedra like the whole reason the Death Star plans get leaked? Is that what y'all took from that scene? Like
Yeah.
she's like,
She was added
The-
to group chat, you know.
yeah, and then she goes scooping, and then
Yeah.
I mean that's
Yeah, her
kinda,
email, the Lonnie
That's
guy
how I
got
got it.
access to her email. Not email,
Yeah.
but like, you know what I mean? Whatever. it's
That's
called.
how they got.
Plans didn't get leaked. They just found out more information about it.
I guess it's fair. Yeah.
Sure.
The actual plans didn't get leaked, just the info,
Right.
Yeah.
or some of the info, because they really didn't have all the info.
Yeah,
So
so if they had
Deidre-
all the info, then they wouldn't need to Jyn Erso and all that stuff. Or
That's
Luke.
right. They just blow it up. So what did you? We'll tie into segue a little bit here to. Oh God, Krennic. How'd you feel about Krennic's appearance? I thought it was great, but I mean, how did you guys think? Yeah.
Oh, I
So
love it.
No
talk to me about the
CGI
finger
de-aging
on her head.
slop. I loved it.
I mean,
So-
Marvel, that's how you use Ben Mendelsohn. That's all I'll say.
When she
Amen.
did that, when he did that to her, he's talking to her and standing behind her and puts his finger on her head. I was like, holy shit! This is I love.
And that
I
was
love it, man.
improvised.
And it was improvised. I find out later.
So that was her
Holy
true reaction. Like,
Yes.
what the hell?
Oh, and consummate professionals, the both of them. She's rolling with it. You know, they gave us just a tiny sliver of this is the Empire, man. Like deep. This is it. This is how it is, and you know what's coming if you just even breathe out of line, man. And that's ended up happening to Krennic. Krennic got his, you know.
Yeah.
So, because he stepped down a line. Practice what you preach. But yeah, I thought Krennic was really good in this time frame in the episodes. We got to meet Saw.
Lies, deceptions.
God, dude, his scene in was it the end of 6 when him and Willman are like putting that reactor stuff together, and then we find out Saw is basically addicted to like starfighter engine fuel.
Yes,
Oh, dude,
I always thought it was like.
oh, dude, that was so
oxygen,
good, bro.
right? Yeah,
No, he's just like addicted to diesel, basically.
freaking tweaker, man. Saw career is
Which
a
is
tweaker.
probably is why he doesn't believe anyone. You know.
Yeah,
You don't know
he's,
what I am.
He's literally
I'm
just
always
like
paranoid.
he's literally just cracked out 24/7. And I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order right now, and I'm like on like the Kashyyyk with him,
Oh, heck
and it
yeah.
just like after watching Andor, it just makes this so much more funny.
Take control of that walker. What? Only
You smell
someone
that,
hires.
boy? That's the rebellion. Breathe it in. And I'm like, bro, what is going on, dude? I had to like pause it, like run it. I'm like, did I miss something, dude? Like, I didn't even think about that scene. Yeah, like he doesn't have like a mask on or anything. I'm not even thinking about it. And then I'm like, oh god, he's actually addicted to this stuff.
Well,
Dude ain't even
watching
putting that
Rogue
whippet in a
One,
bag. He's
when I was watching Rogue One this weekend, and he's on Jeddah,
Mhm.
and every so often he has that mask that he puts up to his face. I always thought it was oxygen,
amen.
Mhm.
but I'm thinking, no, he's still sniffing.
Yeah, dude,
Definitely. He's a full tweaker for sure.
100%, dude.
I was just like, okay, this makes much more sense now. How
But
he's so paranoid.
When I
But
rewatched
Luthen knew it. Luthen had to know it, right? So Luthen is paying a crackhead to start trouble. That's what the rebellion was some rich lady organizing funds through Luthen to pay a crackhead to start some trouble. This happens today, folks. This is why Star Wars is relevant.
if Dana starts paying you to cause trouble, then you know you're a crackhead.
Luthen is basically the CIA, pretty much.
Yeah. Doing
Uh,
the dirty work, but a little dirty themselves, maybe. Yeah.
well, not to go too far off topic, but when I watched Rogue One after Andor, I realized how many actors they got from Rogue One to play their characters in Andor. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That was
Like
cool.
Melshi, I completely forgot he was in Rogue One.
That's right. We talked about that on the stream.
Yeah,
Did
I was like, well, yeah.
Dana,
We'll
did
get
you really want like Vader in this show? Did you feel like he had a place in this? Did you want him to have a place in it?
my mind when I saw the choke thing or whatever panic attack, I thought, oh my god, she screwed up, and he found out, and it's messing with his plans to hunt down the rebellion. Like that's what I thought it might have been, and I would have been fine with that if it was the fact that it wasn't there and wasn't what I thought. It was a pleasant surprise. It didn't need Vader at all.
There
I
were
hope
some
that answers
people who were pissed off about it.
Oh, no way. Nah,
On
Really?
man.
TikTok, I'm like, really? We don't need Vader or lightsabers in every single show or even as a surprise
I think
cameo.
I think it's more of a. I mean, I would argue Palpatine has more of a place in this show, but even the fact that they didn't even use him shows just how good this show
Just
is.
the name drops, I think, were enough because Galen was mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you said Galen made me think about Jimmy Smits as Bale. And what'd you think about Benjamin Bratt?
Thought he did great.
I had no issues with it.
Yeah.
I thought the recast. I hope this encourages them to do more recasts for characters, as I think they should.
Get
Don't give
Clea
us-
to play Leia. I mean, seriously, I think she could play her.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that they do that.
No, not after playing in Andor, but
Carrie. I think her daughter is. I think it's a
Oh,
better
yeah.
choice.
Billy
Yeah,
Lord.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
because
let's
the
talk
thing is,
about
every franchise
Oh, go ahead.
has recasts, so it's like I
Yeah.
don't know why people get up in arms about it. It's like, name me a franchise that hasn't.
Well,
Okay, there are franchises out there, yeah, but I mean, like, come on.
some of the stuff I seen on TikTok after Brat, God damn it, came on as Bale in that first episode that he came on as, and people were really upset. And I'm like, one, this was announced
Yeah,
months ago.
Way back.
Why are you upset? And two, they're like, oh, why couldn't they do the de-aging thing or whatever? And I was like, no, you
It's
would have been
awful.
upset about that also.
It's awful. I hate that. Is my least favorite part. That just CGI slop. It's just so terrible.
They didn't even do it for Krennic.
yeah.
I mean, if you watch Rogue One, he looks a lot younger than he does in Andor.
And in
But you
Andor, they
don't
were
notice
trying.
it because the performance is so great, and you don't give a flying rat's ass.
Mhm.
Here, I'll just take off my headphones real quick, Debbie, and then you can say it.
They really should just
Okay.
they need to recast. I think like the whole recasting thing with Solo really threw them off. But if they think the guy that played young
Oh,
Han
Alden
is the
was great
reason
in
that movie didn't succeed,
Yeah.
then they're just as brain dead as I think they are.
I liked him. I thought he did a great
Yeah.
job.
I
Yeah, it
agree.
wasn't him.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, we all know the reason that movie didn't do well
Mhm.
financially. So
Oh, he's not Harrison Ford. Nobody is Harrison Ford.
And what Alden did great was he didn't try to be Harrison Ford.
Nope.
mhm.
So
No,
I thought
he
Donald Glover
he
was
had
good.
the mannerisms of Han Solo. That's all
mhm.
you needed.
I thought
It's a
Donald Glover was a real good Lando. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
it's a
And
movie
this
that
is the
suffered.
problem with movies versus theater, right? Theater, a recast happens every year, right? For whatever the company changes, and it just, oh yeah, this person was a little better as this character than that. But, oh, I like the way they did this. There's no. I hate. What are you doing? You're destroying Wicked because
You've
we've
ruined
had
the play.
18 Elphabas. No, you're not. It's just someone else's little bit of an interpretation. It's easy for me to say that, because I haven't had a character that I really admire be destroyed by a recast. So,
Well, and I mentioned this last night on MCU Mondays. You know, you got Superman, you got Batman, who have had several people, different people playing that character. And it's like, I enjoy it. I don't mind it because each person brings their own iteration
Thank you.
of Superman or Batman. And so I'm excited to see what's his name? Corn Sweat does. You know.
I think he's going to be really good.
I think
and
he is too, but I hope that's not the final suit that we get in his series of movies. Just not a big fan of the suit.
it
Different
kind of
show.
reminds me of
Sorry.
Christopher Reeve's suit.
It does. It just I'm being nitpicky. Sorry.
Nah. It's not the worst nitpicking I've ever heard.
It just feels very CW to me. But
There were people that got.
it's just the trailers. I know, they've got they can do some touch ups till we see
You want
the
to talk about
movie, but
nitpicking? There were people that nitpicked the new trailer for taking away Superman blinking when he gets hit in the head with the can.
absolute best choice they probably made in the whole trailer, in my opinion. What?
I
Wait,
didn't see
what?
what the big deal was, but
I don't think I've seen this trailer, so I'm not quite sure.
I actually think it's going to be pretty good.
For
New
the sake of
Superman
DC
movie.
too, it has to be pretty good. It doesn't even have
yeah.
to make a lot of money. It just has to be a really good movie.
For God's sake, dude, please get the Batman 2 in production. Oh my God, dude.
yes.
Dude,
I'm gonna have kids by the time that's in production.
dude,
I'll be in the grave.
there's nothing, dude. There's nothing gonna be like. We're gonna be in theater in 2028 whenever this comes out, and they're gonna be like 1 year since the flood. I mean, that movie was like 4 freaking years ago, dude.
Yeah.
The Batman.
I love Robert Pattinson as Batman. I will not
Yeah, can you
apologize
believe
for it.
it took him as a
He's all right.
vampire? It took him like 14 years to be turning from a vampire into a bat.
Just rewatch those movies. Love them. Love the Twilight Saga.
I watch them every so often. The last one always gets me because of the CGI they did on the baby. I'm just like, oh
Yes.
my God.
Yeah,
You
that
gave
really
my
kind of
baby
takes you
after
out
the-
of it.
yeah.
I cringe every time that comes on. But for me, those are brain rot movies. I just
Yes.
sit there and enjoy them for what
Oh,
they
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I
Because I love the books. I read the books. I love the books. The movies, my daughter and I, she also loved the books. So, that was our thing. We went to go see Twilight movies.
My sister's reading through the books for the first time. I know she's read book 1. So yeah.
Absolutely, Debbie. Brain rot movies. I had the flu a few weeks ago and just grinded all 5 of them. It was just phenomenal.
And
Absolutely
there's just
phenomenal.
some movies that you do that too.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. I love those movies. It's brain rot for me. I love the action. I love the intrigue and the spies. You never know what's going on or who's who because, they always have those weird masks and everything. But, it's brain rot for me. I love them.
You know
The
what's
good
crazy
news
about
is-
what's crazy about the Mission Impossible movies is they don't write scripts for them. David said this a couple weeks ago on the show, that they find the stunt they want to film, they film the stunt, and then they work the story around it, following up with the stories that have already
It's
happened.
insane.
Yeah.
All I know is
They're so
Hollywood.
good.
Yeah.
Hollywood will forever always have a movie star because Tom Cruise said he's making movies into his hundreds. So at least there will be one person to get people.
Dude, if
to
he's at
theaters.
100 doing like these crazy stunts, and I'm here at 20 going like, oh my back, I'll be like, dude.
My God, he is 1 year older than me, and I'm just like, I have problems getting out of the freaking bed.
Isn't he
He's
also
got
like
the-
5'5"?
Yeah.
And he like
5'5",
super short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's about my height.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's 62,
Let's see.
and it's just like, how is he doing this shit? Because I sneeze and I throw out my back.
Oh, he's 5'7".
With
Oh,
lips.
and shorter.
We
Yeah.
love our short kink.
Yep.
Man. We're missing a cast member tonight, but he recorded a few thoughts, and I thought we'd blow
That's an
him up
option?
for his thoughts because he cannot be here to defend himself. So, yeah.
Does that mean
we're
we get to roast him later?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I shared audio. Tell me if you can hear the audio.
Well,
Barely.
What did he? Well, hold on. Was he got a blue to like? Was he eating an icy?
dude, you got to show it on the stream, brother. Here you go.
There we go.
26 minutes.
Oh, juicy. Okay, here we go.
Now you
I
got to
can,
turn that up.
I can
brother.
barely hear it.
You got to turn it
All
up.
right,
brother.
hold on.
All
That's a
right,
great-
this is already a red flag, bro, because what is on? Why is he choosing to put this in his mouth and then record this video? Why could he,
I don't know.
why
I
could he
said,
not have waited?
and this was his idea. He was like, "Hey, man, oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to do something different here.
Oh, Gampon's technology.
There we go.
Did you call him Gampa? That's hilarious. Gampa, please fix your computer, Gampa.
Whoa,
Hey.
echo.
Oh
Echo.
my gosh.
Don't talk.
Hey y'all, it's your lore master right here. You already know how it is. Got the juicy drop pop. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk about Andor season 2. Andor season 2. Have a lot of opinions about it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Hold up. How distracting is this blue tongue?
What
He's
is in the back seat of his car?
everything. He's like his drum kit, like some clothes, because he's got rehearsal or he's got a gig after he worked. Like
Poor
Poor
guy.
guy.
He's just 20 seconds of the video where
where
he's
he's
roasting
like-
him.
he's like, "Hey man, I want to record something to play because I got to work and I got rehearsal on my thoughts. I'm really excited about that." I'm like, "All right, great. What are you doing with the blue mouth, man? You're
I'm just
killing
gonna get into it.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is kind of what I was disappointed about with this series. I think it's a great way to start this. Talk about something a little less cool and then get into the good stuff. So my biggest problem with this series was character potential. They wasted character potential, and I think the biggest character for that would probably be K2SO. K2SO only showed up a little bit towards the end, and he just it didn't feel the exact same.
Ow.
If you know what I mean. Yeah. Honestly, I think it would have been better if we could have seen K2SO more within like the third year. If that makes sense, like 2 years. The third year, that would have made a lot more sense. We would have seen a lot more of him. We could have seen a lot more of his friendship with Andor. That's my biggest thing. We missed all of that. We missed all of K2SO's building with him.
It's the whole movie.
Second biggest thing.
So,
Wow, that echo's insane.
What is this echo, bro?
I don't know. What is that echo?
It's you.
Yeah,
It's not me.
Echo.
Yes,
So-
it is, bro.
Right now, it's echoing.
Not
Not
now.
anymore.
It's just when you share the screen because of how you shared it.
Oh,
Dial in, bro. Dial in, Grandpa.
I don't know if you guys agree, disagree. I would have loved to see that relationship between K2SO and Andor. We got to see him playing some cards. It wasn't Sabak, it was something. But seeing him, mess around, and I really would have loved to see that. You guys?
No.
I vehemently
I
disagree
thought it was fine
with
the way
Zane's
it was.
statement.
Why?
It would have
Wasted
taken away
character
from the other
potential?
story.
Yeah.
Okay, are you not interested on? I'm curious. Are you interested that if they did a Tales from whatever, and you have a couple of episodes of them building their relationship?
Oh, sure.
With
I'd
him,
love to
yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
not in the show.
Got you. It would detract from the main
Yes.
goal of the show. Okay.
Yeah. I don't
That's fair.
think I think his term of wasted character potential is not the term I think he's trying to go for, because I think that in relation to this show is just could not be further from the truth.
Mhm.
I think
I mean,
him
we got a
even-
damn hallway scene.
yeah.
We did, didn't we?
It was great. So he's up there with Vader and Luke. Great hallway scene. Well, Maul
Yeah.
also.
Maul.
You had a mustache man. She's like, geez.
Yeah, I mean,
Dana's
mean-
favorite character from the season, by the way.
I disagree with the lore master respectfully.
Me too.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
Still
it's
love you, Lore Master, but no.
Yeah,
it's 2 and 2.
This is why we have the First Amendment, brother. It's all good.
I had a problem with was mostly the pacing, especially at the very beginning. A lot of people that I know have been watching it. They get really bored within the first year, and then like the first episode or two of the second year. It was really slow at certain times, at a lot of times, and it just I know you're setting up a lot of the stuff, but the pacing just felt really slow around those times. All right.
Okay. Pacing. On the first 3 episodes and starting in that second chunk. No, you dug it?
No,
He
no.
said the same thing differently twice, like back to back. I was like, what?
I mean,
He's
I would
on
say-
his break at lunch. I give him a break. I don't know.
No, I
man.
get it.
I would say for season 1 he has a valid point, but I would say I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I thought the first 3 episodes were. I did fall asleep in After Dark when we were watching the episode 3. It was very slow. And when I woke up, I was like, "Wait, what just happened?" And yeah, so I'm on board with him. I had
Biased.
an issue with how slow. I'm not biased. I'm giving him grief about a blue tongue.
But I mean, but my question is what is there to take out of the first 3 episodes to make the pacing better? I would argue you need majority of those scenes in there for all the overlying character arcs to come in. You have episode 2 when they're introducing Gorman, and you have the Krennic thing, and then Deidre and the dude with the funky ass haircut. I mean, I don't know what you take out.
Well,
to
it's,
make
I don't think
It's a
you take
backup
anything
cam.
out. I think you just slow down on the brakes. I don't know how to say this. There were, for me watching it, there were these moments where this dialogue is happening, and this is my response. It just, that's what my takeaway when I hear him discuss. That's where I had a problem, is that there seemed to be an artificial expanding of this time in between stuff that felt kind of reminiscent of Ahsoka, where you had these very intentional slow scenes. Not as bad as Ahsoka, okay, don't get me wrong. That was crazy. But that's the feeling I got watching it.
With who?
Well, here's the thing. Gilroy said that
With
nothing was
even Deidre and
unnecessary.
Cyril, shit, Deidre and Cyril, those moments, Kira, what's her name? Not Kira. Clea and Luthen, oh god, in the room with Diaper Dan, it was so slow when we were talking about Gorman. Like oh my god, slow. Geez, that's what I mean by pacing. Everything seemed delivered very slowly. There we go.
But it all had purpose.
Great to disagree.
Oh my god. I don't want anything removed. Don't misunderstand. I want it to just move along a little faster in the scene. Everything seemed slowed down, is what I'm
It's got to take
say.
its time, though, to marinate. You know? You don't want to rush a recipe and then be
Maybe I've been doing too much doom scrolling. Next. Let's go.
That's the problem with the attention spans
No,
nowadays.
I think you're making a valid point there, because I think that's a good point. I think y'all are on that whatever fence Saw Gerrera's on, bro. I just disagree.
Rhodium, man. Got to get off of it.
Yeah.
That's right. And then go bake your lungs in some Bacta so they freshen up, and then go do it again. Get that burn, that fresh burn.
Brother. Breathe it in. Breathe it in, brother.
I love the
There's
smell
this creator that Debbie and I
morning.
watched. There's a creator that Debbie and I watch, and he does all the impressions. And for Saw Gerrera, he uses a vacuum as his like.
Alex, the voice guy on TikTok, you have to watch him.
Tag me in something and I'll follow him. That's
it's
awesome.
hilarious, dude.
I'll send you a video next time he pops up.
It started with Penguin, and then he went to Kingpin, and then now he's doing Saw, and then he did like every episode of Andor. So he plays like Cyril's mom, Saw. He does Andor, Diaper Dan, Deidre,
Daredevil.
Yeah,
Fisk. Yeah, he's great.
Dana, you fell asleep in episode 3, even with that one scene that happens at the latter half of episode 3, the one that everybody online made just a big commotion out of nothing.
Where I made the comparison to I fell asleep through a piece of that. I got to see where she, he stumbled out of the house or the control room and died. But and I rewatched that because I wanted to really understand what some of the issue was.
I just didn't see any issue. It completely made Star Wars Theory just not want to review the entire show. I'm like, bro.
Are we talking about the attempted essay?
Yeah. And I had stated and got some disagreement on the Spooky Jawa podcast, which I had joined earlier in the week, that I did a lot of comparison to Leia. Leia being a slave to Jabba. She was a sex like this was what he had. It wasn't like we didn't get that in 1984 or whatever. Like we didn't understand that in 83. Like, but now we understand what that was. And for her to take him out was extremely, for me, watching as a kid, like that's empowered. Like, no, it's wrong what's happening. And this woman is standing up and choking out her perpetrator. Whether you agree with that's the way you should handle it. Yeah, I'm just saying in the Star Wars universe. So that was my first real, like, this is wrong. And probably wrong what's happening to this guy, but he deserved it, or I'm having these feelings. So when I saw this big scene, I immediately was taken back there. Don't take it, knock him out. Like I'm cheering her on, like, and she came out on top, and the way she came out on top, I'm like, yes, woman power, man, do it. Like, and I'm just very supportive of how that went. And if that makes people uncomfortable, then don't watch the show. But hey, if this occurred today, I would expect nothing less than for the same thing to occur, where stand up for and whatever. I'm not in that position. I can't relate. I can try to empathize as best as I can, but I can tell you, I was cheering and happy. There's the Dana Martin stance on that.
I just didn't understand why everyone felt it was. I guess the discourse I saw from, I guess, whatever side of Star Wars fandom I'm on, it's just felt out of place, felt very HBO, but it's the same people that want Star Wars to be more adult. And not saying you have to have these type of scenes to be adult, but like, I think what that guy did is, when you think of the Empire, is probably what hundreds of other people in the Empire were doing on other planets. I mean,
I thought of Braveheart. You've seen Braveheart,
yeah.
and that dude attacks his woman in the hut. That's also what I thought of.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel like anything at all.
Well, the thing is, I mean, he was attempting to SA her. It wasn't like it was a scene from Game of Thrones where we see everything.
Rearranging furniture.
Yeah, wrecking furniture, doing the cha-cha. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was well done. He was making his advances. Of course, she beat the shit out of him. Great. Wonderful. There was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So the question, I think, becomes, did it need to be there?
Why not? It happens in everyday life.
I mean,
I'm just asking the question.
They want us. They want us to hate the Empire, do they not?
Yeah.
I would think that this has a place, and then you add in the whole immigrant no visa or whatever thing that they kept throwing in there. I mean, yeah.
I mean, they're committing genocide.
Yeah.
You don't think that people who have power, even though they're lower ranks or whatever, but they have power, nobody's around, you don't think that crap doesn't go on? You're delusional.
So one of the arguments I did hear was perhaps it could have been implied and less stuff being displayed on screen, because of how it could trigger others that maybe have experienced that. So I understand that point too, that if you could have potentially rewrote that a little bit to imply the advances, and maybe cut to a scene where he's stumbling out and she's standing over him with a whatever, and you leave some of that out, how it could still have impact. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of women on TikTok. They were rooting for her. Yeah.
I think the whole babying thing, I think I would just no. I think if anything, you could put a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode, and I think the boys did that a couple times, or probably most episodes with the boys. I mean, you could do that, but
every episode of the boys.
Yeah. Well, I know they did the big one where they had to rename the season finale after all the Trump stuff back then. But I mean, I get you're not going to be able to please everybody, but
sure.
I don't know. I think the solution would have been if you're going to have those scenes and you're worried about triggering people, which I think is, never mind. Sorry. You can just put something at the beginning of an episode.
Yeah.
And they had so much. Oh, go ahead.
It wasn't graphic.
No, the guy sucked at it too.
So yeah, I didn't have an issue with it. Of course, I haven't been in that position, but if somebody were to try to do that to me, I would have done the exact same thing she would have, or she did.
I think it just further shows what, like Debbie said, the Empire is committing genocide, and it just shows more heinous acts that they do on other planets. I mean,
I mean, I'm rolling around in a dark side, Empire logo car, and we're on the Sith Dominion, and the reality is, yeah, war criminals, right? Like, and we're not talking about K2SO and Chopper existing in the same time frame, and we're actually probably on Yavin at the exact same time, and probably
That I would have liked to have seen them interacting for at least 10 minutes.
probably
Just 10
started
minutes.
some shit. Yeah, those
Yeah.
two.
Love my guy Chopper, bro. What a guy.
So yeah. We'll move on from that, but yeah, it I think was, if you have that and you have drug use and you have suicide and you have genocide, I mean, how much more adult can this be without another rating and different language and nudity? I think they did a great job putting all of this in, but not shoehorning it in, right? It made sense where they put it, and it made sense for it to be there. As hard as it is.
This show is a masterclass for me personally. I told Woods, my wife, probably after the next day after I thought about it, I was like, I told Josiah too, who hadn't seen it. I was like, this is probably one of the best series this season, and you can throw in season 1, but season 2 for me is probably one of the best seasons of television that I have watched in a long time.
Written by a guy who's not a Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. But a guy that understood Star Wars. How is that? That Leslie can give us what we got and Tony can give us what we got. Someone who claims to be a huge fan versus someone who's new to the realm ish.
Well, I guess
how
they
does
just
that
don't know how to write.
I
know.
I mean, I think the crew from top to bottom for Andor and even for Rogue One is more talented than the crew that was on the Acolyte. Not taking anything away from some of those people on that set, but I think just from top to bottom, they were more talented. I think that you have, I don't know. I think, I mean, Tony Gilroy's probably made one of the probably the best Disney Star Wars film that we've gotten since Disney's acquired the IP, and I think he just. I read a clip because I've been one on this show that I would love for him to get into the more inner workings of Lucasfilm in terms of Star Wars direction, but I think he was passionate about telling a story, and I think you hear a lot of this in Hollywood today. I think Leslie and them were trying to preach and send a message that doesn't resonate with the audience, and I think that Tony and his crew were just focused on telling a story and kept the main thing, and I think it's very evident in the final product. And if you think about it, they're touching on a lot more adult things that go on in today's world than the Acolyte could have even. I mean, there's more sexual tension between Deidre than whatever the pool scene was in the Acolyte that we got. You know, like Andor does more showing and
than telling.
Yeah, and that's exactly
writing, man.
Well, and what I love too is with Andor, you know, you can see the budget and production on screen. The Acolyte's like non-existent.
It's just better to. I think it's disrespectful to even put them in the same sentence. Personally,
I will say Osha's facial acting. I mean, it's got to be up there with some of Andor stuff.
All right, we'll move on. What do you guys
The
think?
things that I liked about this show, There's a lot. I really liked how some of the other characters were used. I really liked the portrayal of Saw Gerrera. I love Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma was amazing.
Except for her dancing scene. That was kind of weird.
If Debbie and I had
Drunk and at a rave.
I thought it was pretty solid, honestly.
I think I really liked the sleeper Clea. You know, who would have thought that she would have been such a cool character by the end?
Clea is in Empire Strikes Back in the background when they're trying to evacuate, but they're still in the control room. It's actually Clea that's working at a terminal behind Leia. I saw that today too.
Diego Luna did amazing as Andor, of course. I remember seeing something, y'all might have actually mentioned this already, that on Disney Plus, they actually changed the like the poster or whatever to have Andor in front instead of Jyn Erso. I just think that's crazy. You can fact check me on that, but I don't know.
Fact check the brother.
Overall, like a lot of the people did really good acting.
Fact check the lore master.
Like holy crap! Like
No, but I think I heard
I
that.
thought she was super cold and heartless, and then at the end where she's choking herself. Oh my gosh, I really love that. I really loved a lot of the more.
I'm not the only
scenes.
one
I
that
think
thinks
that's
she was
kinda what
choking
makes
herself.
Star Wars. That's what made Attack of the Clones decent and able to watch. You know, that were some of the good parts in the Clone Wars. A lot of the good parts were the political parts and discussions, and this is a lot of stuff that we don't actually see in a lot of the mainline Star Wars movies, is what's happening behind the scenes. We're seeing the battles, we're seeing the war, but we're not seeing the war on the actual like Senate front. So this was really cool to see more of the political dealings behind all of this. Honestly, what I think of the show in total, you know, it was kind of like Loki. It was like Loki season 2 mixed with Secret Invasion, if that makes sense. Secret Invasion, a lot of people don't like the show. I get it. Okay, I know y'all don't like the show too. I love the show.
It's pretty
It was
dark.
amazing. It had a lot of just the behind the scene-esque kind of
See, sniffing stuff that saw it.
you know, it wasn't just all action, all everything. It was a lot of dialogue. I really liked it, right? And I mean, obviously, it isn't amazing, you know, but I liked it. Andor is kind of like that in that respect, you know, except for it's better. I also say season 2 is kind of like Loki season 2. Loki season 1 was it was amazing season, you know, it was good, but it was like an 8.
Loki season 2 was
all the
sick.
episodes, it was like an 8 maybe. Loki season 2 came out, and it made it was amazing, you know. And same thing with Andor 2. Andor season 2 is way better than Andor season 1, and it just elevated.
Are you blue ball this?
I guess I should unmute.
Oh,
What are we doing
Sitting
here?
here waiting for y'all to answer the dang question. Is Andor season 2 better than Andor season 1?
yeah.
Yeah.
Echo.
Debbie?
I don't like the echo. Thank you. Drives me nuts.
It only echoes when I'm playing, sorry. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's better than season 1, but it just adds to it,
Mhm.
you know. I mean, yeah, I didn't think season 2 could be better than season 1, because I absolutely love season 1. I thought it was fantastic. And you're like, okay, how's Tony going to top this? Well, he did.
Yeah.
Fantastic job.
Agreed.
This would be a series I would probably watch every year along with Rogue One. I'm going to put it on my every year list.
Well, even I already, you know, like you, Debbie, I already loved Rogue One. And when I went and watched it after Andor, I mean, I love it even more because it just elevates to that. I moved it up in my Star Wars rankings because I was like, all right. I just loved it that much more.
I even cried more.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
No echo. I'm going to turn it off. Hold on.
That show from like a 7 or an 8 to easily a 9, if not even a 10. Like that's kind of where I'm at for the ratings right now. I think I'm more at like a 9.7, 9.8. You know, I'm not fully there. I do have a few gripes, but honestly, the show was really good. Really enjoyed it. Anyways, this is Zane, the lore master, the Walmart customer service cell phone representative. I'm just going off. I can't even think. Yeah. If y'all want to see anything cool this week, I actually have gigs this Friday. That is.
Wait, I didn't tell him he could do plugs.
Yeah, bro. Just don't let him have this.
I think I'll just leave it at pause right there. That's just a beautiful. Everybody get that screen cap. That's lovely. I'll let him give his plugs and we'll finish up the show. Hold up.
May 23rd, where just the 30 rack, you know, the boys behind the noise for Thomas Babiak. We're going to be playing some gig out in Oak Hill, right? At the Oak Hill Social. It's around, I think, get there around 7:30. I think is around when we're starting. I'm going to be singing. Rob's going to be singing. We're going to have Shane singing. You might as well sing along with us. It's just going to be a fun time. The day after, though, we're going to be up in Dripping Springs, Texas at Hudson's on Mercer Street. That's May 24th. It's a Saturday. And, yeah, Thomas Babiak and the 30 rack. We're just going to blow that house down. It's just going to be insane. It's going to be crowded. You might as well come early so that you actually get a place
He's
to
so good at
stand,
this.
because there's going to be no seats open. There's not going to be any dance floor space open. So, anyways, thank you all for having me on. Thank you, Dr. Dana, for doing this video, because I couldn't make it. I had practice. And, yeah, I'll see you all later.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna keep
unmute
it a stack, man. I mean, really having Andor and Secret Invasion in the same sentence, I think it's disrespectful to Andor. Dana, you're muted, brother. You gotta unmute. You're muted. He just doesn't know. Grandpa, dial in, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, whatever. He gave it like a 9.8. That's pretty high. Cam, what's yours? 1 to 10.
10. Easy.
Wow, just like that. You didn't even think about it.
Yeah, it's 10, brother. I mean, one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen. And I don't, not to be doom and gloom, but I hope we get more Star Wars projects that can even garner half of what we just got.
Debbie?
10. I just wish they would have added just for shits and grins, just added one little thing when they showed Dedra in prison. And that was her out on the floor with Coy barking orders at her. I really wanted to see that. But that was just like if I could write in a little scene, we didn't even have to hear it. We could have just seen, Andy Serkis just right in her face, yelling at her, faster, faster, faster. That would have been great. But yeah, 10 all the way around.
Andrew?
Well, 10, of course. I mean, like Cam, it's honestly some of the best TV I've ever seen. I mean,
Yeah.
And I don't say that lightly. And, that's not just something I say because, everyone else is saying it. Like, I mean, it's episode 8 and 9 are some of the best TV episodes I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Andor is the first TV show ever to have 5 episodes in a row with a 9-star rating on IMDb.
Wow.
That 7 through 12 should be like studied in school.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like I can't remember what episode it was in. it was whenever Bix makes a decision for both of them, where I had to like, I had to take a break. Like I got up and I went out to the living room and I was like, I am like just distraught at that happening. Like I cannot believe that is how we're ending this episode. That is not where I saw. I mean, I know she's not in Rogue One. I know she's not going to stick around. That just, I was like emotionally moved. And then the ending of 12 when you see the what I hope is Poe just out there, but I doubt it. But
No, we already know who his parents are.
yeah, but
And the timeline doesn't add up either. Poe would be like 50
yeah, it's true. But
or 40 something, whatever.
that 7 through 12 was generational.
Yeah. I mean, aside from like season 2 of Battlestar Galactica and Firefly, might be for me the single greatest season I've ever seen of any show ever.
For me,
In
it's
its
up there with the
entirety.
Acolyte. I mean, just pure
This
cinema.
mother. All right.
Later.
So, Diego, you've probably seen this clip. It's been floating around for a little while since before the show. And I don't know what it is about this guy. He loves his craft. He loves the fact he was given the opportunity and he didn't squander it to be in Star Wars. He's so thankful and so gracious, and I love him to death. And I have to play this because, yeah, congratulations and mission accomplished, Diego Luna.
I have 2 messages. Yes. One for fans and one for them. But you have to witness both. First of all, there's nothing like working for something that says Star Wars, you know? I don't think I'll ever go back to something close to this. People talked a lot about at the beginning of the weight, the pressure. I would say just one thing. I mean, when we tell stories, when we decide to give life to a character and meaning to the words that you see, you know, written and you put together something like this, you're hoping someone cares. And being in this show, having worked for your care, for your love for Star Wars, knowing you're there, waiting for us to deliver, it's the big difference, you know? There's nothing like this. Thank you for the love you have for what we do, because I'm fortunate, you know, and I think we're all fortunate of working and telling a story you care about, and I hope we deliver. I hope you're proud and happy with this second season and with Andor in general, because we put our hearts and our passion behind it. But it's because of you, so thank you so much.
And it's kind of weird to like not have an actor preaching at us.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And it looks like Forrest Whitaker maybe was coming down off his high. He was falling asleep back there.
He's been in rehab.
Yeah, he took method acting to a whole new level there.
What I find fascinating is when they first announced this series, everybody's like, we didn't ask for this. Why do we need a series about a guy that, you know, was in one movie? Why should we even care? And to have that attitude, for the most part, I've only seen very few that, you know, kind of spoke against it or didn't like it. But for the majority of people who've had their minds totally turned around and loved this series, just speaks volumes. And that's
Absolutely.
how good Tony Gilroy did with this series.
Yes, he did.
Absolute masterclass in filmmaking, top to bottom.
Diego Luna, Pedro Pascal. I mean, these guys like what they do. They like the story. Sam Witwer. The list goes on. The more folks that are involved in Star Wars projects like this, I think the better for fandom. Like you said, Debbie, we didn't ask for it, but didn't matter. And we didn't ask for, well, I guess we did ask for the Acolyte. We were wanting more dark side kind of stuff, but they didn't give us what we were really asking for. And it's their IP, it's not ours, blah, blah, all that shit. But just him stand alone, I think, Cam, you hit on it too. Like his graciousness, his likability, and it being about the fans and the art and the craft and not about him. I think that makes a huge difference in how it's the show in its entirety is approached.
And in any of his interviews, always been very gracious, always been very humble. Unlike some other interviews we've seen where they just sprout nonsense and stupidity, and it's just like that kind of stuff is like it makes you not really excited for the show when it comes out. I mean, I tried to put it past when Acolyte came out, because I was like you guys, I was excited because I thought we were going to get some dark side Sith shit going on. But then after hearing the interviews, it was just like, who are these people? Who are? Why isn't Disney saying, "Hey"?
Well, it was kind of like with Skeleton Crew, seeing the kids, how excited they were.
Yeah,
like it was just cool.
Talk about a show that's going to get lost in the ether, man. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah,
but it just made loving the show even more fun. So same with Andor, it just makes you love the show and the character that much more.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, cool! We can have cheap viewers.
Yeah, awesome.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. And this was fun to talk about the show. This show was it was something else. We've given it high praise. Is there any kind of last thoughts on it?
We didn't mention E.T.'s grandma.
What?
The granny. Alien that Clea was pushing around in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, E.T.'s grandma. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we didn't talk much about Luthen, and we didn't. I mean, there's just so much to talk about. But
yeah,
I'm sure we'll touch on it in other shows as well.
We can do a retrospective.
Yeah, we'll revisit it in a few months.
Somehow Andor will return.
Somehow. I love just kind of the ending where it rolls into right into Rogue One, and we get to see Bix carrying a child, and obviously we're assuming that's Cassian's kid, which means he's he's made the sacrifice for the son perhaps he'll never see, right? And which makes it hit really hard. I think when I watch Rogue One again, it's gonna hit different. So yeah, that final scene, you good with that?
Yeah. Dude, I rarely cry at stuff.
You look like you're getting emotional right now just thinking about it.
It was so good just seeing, and I've mentioned this on Cantina, when his montage starts with him just walking through, and you see Melchi training the troops, you see him look at that force healer, and he just gives a nod, knowing he's living out his destiny. She knows he's living out his destiny. And, then you see B2 playing with another droid on the farm planet and living his best life. And then you see Bix walking out in the field, and, and then she has that baby out. I lost it. I was just like, no. Yeah, it was great. And the music, it was his theme, but it started out kind of low, and then it just kept building and building and building. And I was just like, oh, I lost it. Yeah, it was great.
Awesome.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Any shows to plug, Debbie? The slate, we haven't had you to do that. And Andrew kind of takes pot shots. Just, I'm on this show, so I'll announce that one. And I'm on this show, so I'll announce that one.
Pretty accurate.
Tomorrow we'll have a new episode of War of the Stars. Thursday, Cantina Happy Hour. We are talking about Underworld. Friday we have Snackabay or whatever it's called on Friday. Yes. Did I say that right? I never get it right ever. It does not flow for me. But Saturday Geek Gauntlet. Oh, Friday Star Trek. Me over on the Geek and I podcast. Season 2 original Star Trek. I'll let Andrew do the next one. And then Monday, MCU Mondays, we are on season 1, episode 3 of Jessica Jones.
I'd forgotten about that show. I never watched it either.
Then why would you remember it?
Oh, I remember the name.
Debbie,
it was great to have you back tonight.
Yeah, sure.
No, dude.
Basically, what he's saying, I have not fulfilled Debbie's footsteps.
No.
Hey, you got to have a female perspective on the show.
I'm glad we did
that'll
for
never happen
some
for me.
specific pieces tonight for sure. Andrew, what are you doing that don't repeat anything? We already know all the other stuff, but just tell us the stuff we don't know.
Okay, well, this past Sunday on the Cam and Focus YouTube channel, Cam and I discussed Blues Brothers for about 30-ish minutes and then talked about a bunch of other movie stuff. This coming Sunday, we will be discussing The Green Knight, which if you don't know what that is an A24 movie. I've never seen it before, but Cam loves it, so I'm excited to talk about it. And yeah, that's that. And then Dr. Dana's book.
Cam, what do you got going on?
Nothing, brother. Same shit.
Still wants a steak, Dana.
So
He's not going to give me a steak or play golf with me. So I'm just going to take the L.
this book, 100 pages of just different ways that Star Wars and just one pagers on Star Wars and business and stuff like that. That's what this is. And starting next week, we're resetting our loyalty program, and the winner of the loyalty program over the course of 1 month, whoever has the most points gets a free copy of this. Andrew, for your birthday, I'm going to send you a copy of this.
Oh, thank you.
Aww.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Still don't have a hat, but that's okay.
I'm the only one with the hat, and they won't let me make any more. So,
Darn.
Fed.
In the Fed, the government hates us so.
All right. Next week, we're going to chat a little bit about. I'm sorry about teasing a special guest. I'm not sure what happened. We're talking 100% ghosting here. So, I don't know.
Who was it?
I guess I had something. I was on this. I mentioned it earlier. Spooky Jawa, his podcast. He's a fan of the show. He got the book from the loyalty. Had me on the show before Andor and then after Andor. So there's some more thoughts where I discuss some things. And go check out his podcast at Spooky Jawa on YouTube. Cool. Who was the guest? We'll see if they'll show next week.
You have to tell us after.
Nope. Ain't happening.
I know who it is.
So, and in the next 2 weeks, I keep saying this, I'm going to reach out to DJ Elliott because he's coming off back-to-back big events over the last month. That's Celebration and then the con down in South Africa in Cape Town. So he's been traveling, and hopefully I can rope him in to come hang out with us, and we'll just have a DJ Elliott telling us all the tea that he can. That was a fun episode last time. All right. Anything else before we go? Nope. Great. We're signing off. Remember, kids, peace is a lie. There's only passion. Good night. Maybe. Is it not playing the video? It's right there. It says outro. It's like it's not playing.